Science 8H. Our topic for today is all about Newton's law of motion. In this lesson, you will know who is Isaac Newton and his three laws of motion. Are you ready to learn? Okay, let's start.
Who is Isaac Newton? Sir Isaac Newton, in December 25, 1642 to March 20, 1726, was an English mathematician, physicist, astronomer, theologian, and author, describing his own day as a natural philosopher, who is widely recognized as one of the most influential scientists of all time and as a key figure in the scientific revolution. Newton's law of motion. Newton's law of motion are three physical laws that, together, laid the foundation for classical mechanics. They describe the relationship between a body and the forces acting upon it, and its motion in response to those forces. We have three laws of motion. The first law of motion states that every object will remain at rest or in uniform motion in a straight line unless compelled to change its state by the action of an external force. This is normally taken as the definition of inertia. If that velocity is zero, then the object remains at rest. This is the example of Newton's first law of motion, or what we call inertia. An object will not change its motion unless acted on by an unbalanced force. If it is at rest, it will stay at rest. If it is in motion, it will remain at the same velocity. Objects with a greater mass have more inertia. It takes more force to change their motion. Let's proceed to the second law of motion. The second law pertains to the behavior of objects for which all existing forces are not balanced. The second law states that the acceleration of an object is dependent upon two variables: the net force acting upon the object and the mass of the object. The acceleration of an object depends directly upon the net force acting upon the object and inversely upon the mass of the object. As the force acting upon an object is increased, the acceleration of the object is increased. As the mass of an object is increased, the acceleration of the object is decreased. So this is the example of Newton's second law of motion, or what we call law of acceleration. If an object has more mass, it accelerates at a lower rate because mass has inertia. And the last law of motion, or what we call the third law of motion, states that for every action or force, in nature, there is an equal and opposite reaction. In other words, if object A exerts a force on object B, then object B has also exerts an equal force on object A. Notice that the forces are exerted on different objects. The third law can be used to explain the generation of lift by a wing and the production of thrust by a jet engine. This is the example of third law. A force is a push or a pull that acts upon an object as a result of its interaction with another object. These two forces are called action and reaction forces and are the subjects of Newton's third law of motion. Formally stated, Newton's third law is, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So why it is important to know about this law? First, Newton's law describe and explain how the universe works. And once you see them, they will seem simple and logical, but it is to understand the limitation that have been put on motion. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate that you took time to watch and listen to my presentation. God bless.